Dutch would like to welcome you to the 2014 U.S. Bar Table 8-ball division. This is Ken Shuman here for TAR, and we've got 8-ball action for you right out of the gate here. Winner's side action between the Warrior Warren Kiamco, young gun Justin Bergman. Race to 5 here. And as we kind of get underway here, I'm going to give you an update on the rules of play. Also want to once again congratulate Mr. Dennis Orcuyo. He did something yesterday that hasn't been done, to my knowledge, ever. He successfully defended his U.S. Open one-pocket championship. And quite a feat, especially considering the gentleman that he kind of thrashed there in the finals, the South Dakota kid. I think everybody probably realizes that was one of the most subpar performances that we've ever seen out of Shane. I mean, he has just set such a high standard that we are so used to seeing him play at an exceptional level. It was a little bit unusual to see the struggles that he had last night, and maybe a few of the shot selections and lack of execution that we've come to expect. But that didn't mean that he handed it to Dennis. Dennis played like a true champion. He had a couple of just a couple of hiccups early on in the match. But anyway, here we go. Rack number 1, race to 5. And Warren Kiamco to break. 221 men are competing in the 8-ball division. Watch the white ball, Warren. Okay, now that is ball in hand anywhere. That rule changed a couple of years ago. It's not ball in hand behind the line if you scratch on the break. Nothing spots, except if the 8 was made on the break, and I'll tell you how that works pretty soon. It's ball in hand anywhere, foul on the break. It's not behind the line. Right. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to remind them, as I did to you, ball in hand anywhere with a foul on the break. And I don't think either group is going to be tough here. The only reason I might pick the stripes would be I'd have 2 pockets for the 8-ball here in the bottom. Taking the solids, you still got plenty of pockets for the 8-ball, but I think he may start with that. He may start with the 15, then the 9, then the 14. Clear those 3, but let's see what he decides to do. This is really just a matter of how you feel about it. Most players will start by looking at the 8-ball, seeing what's around it, and what you might have to get out of the way to allow yourself a nice opportunity to make the game-winning ball. And he has decided to go for the solids. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. My guess is he will take the 3, the 5, move the cue ball down a little, and use the 2, 4 as his final 2 balls to get to the 8. And that sure makes the rack play really simple, especially with the fact that Warren made 3 balls on the break. So the 2, bounce off the cushion, 4 in the side, float down, game 1 to Justin. All right, while Justin's racking them up, let me go ahead and run the rules by everybody. It is a Rack your own format, alternate break, race to 5. It is call, ball, and pocket, just like we had in 10 ball. You don't have to call obvious shots. You do have to call banks, combinations, things of that nature, anything that's not obvious. Groups are not established until the first ball is legally pocketed after the break. So it's not take what you make. Doesn't matter what you make on the break. You still have your choice. And until the groups are established, you can hit a solid into a stripe or a stripe into a solid to establish your group. The 8 is never neutral. It can never be struck first unless it's your last legal object ball on the table. Otherwise, it would be a foul. Now, if the 8 is made on the break, the breaker has 2 choices. It's not a win. He can spot the 8 and continue to shoot, or he can re-rack and break over. And they are allowed to spot the 8 and then make the decision, because sometimes spotting the ball will change what you decide you want to do. And the only other aspect of the rules are loss of game on the 8 ball, and that would occur if you were to make the 8 ball and foul in any manner. If you made the 8 out of order, which means you still have some of your object balls on the table and somehow you manage to knock the 8 in, that's loss of game. If the 8 is knocked off the table on any shot but the break shot, that is loss of game as well. And lastly, if you were to make the 8 on the same stroke and shot as you pocketed your last legal object ball, that's also loss of game, because again, then the 8 is pocketed prematurely before all of your group is off the table. When they rack the balls, the only requirements are the 8 in the middle and a solid in one corner and a stripe in the other. Don't have to have the 1 as the head ball, don't even have to hit the head ball first. Legal break is make a ball or 4 object balls to the cushions. And that should be just about what you need to know on the rules. So Justin with an opportunity here to jump out quickly 2-0. He's going to shoot the 7 in the side, take the solids. And he just simply decided to play a safety because he didn't like the lay of the land there, and I don't blame him. So the table is still open for Warren. And again, he can shoot any type of a combination. Using either group first. But I'm not so sure I'd even want to establish a group here. The stripes are the better group with the exception of the 10 ball. The solids are okay with the exception of the 7 ball near the 10, of course. But there are balls that'll open those up nearby. And he's going to go ahead and start out here with the 14. Okay, got a little bit thin here on the 15. This is really the only ball he can shoot, and I'm sure he will shoot it. That will open up the 11. 11 might even, something might go over near the 10 there. Yeah, he tried to get the cue ball to the 10. Now actually he's done okay with it because the 10 can go in the upper left corner. And now all the stripes have pockets. He's probably got to shoot the 11. He's going to want to, I'm going to guess, use the 12 that's near the 4 as the ball to get on the 10. And I'm going to guess those might be his last 2 balls. Whether or not the 13 passes the 5, I don't know in the upper left, but it sure goes in the right. A lot depends on the angle here as to where he's going next. Yeah, I guess he's going to have to go ahead now and get that 10 out of there, and then he can float the cue ball down table for either the 9 in the right side or all the way down for the 13. But I'd be surprised if he doesn't go to the 10 here. Nicely done. Took the care to get straight enough in where he won't have to deal with the 7 ball with the cue ball. Got just a little bit too much angle here to hold for the 9 in the side. He's probably going to have to come 3 rails, and it's a narrow window between the 3 and the 7. Got to miss the 4 as well. And by putting so much focus on position, he missed his object ball. And as all of you know, whether it's big table or small table 8 ball, when you're playing at this level, if you start to run out and the table's open pretty much and you don't get there, you're probably going to lose because all your soldiers are off the table and out of the way. And that's probably what's going to happen here, barring something unexpected. We're going to try to get the 9-ball semifinal in today. I'm not sure about the 9-ball final. That may get pushed to tomorrow. The problem is, of course, the 3 players left in 9-ball are Skylar Woodward, Torsten Homan, and SVB. And of course, they're all playing 8-ball. I understand SVB lost his 8-ball match late last night, so he's on the 1-loss side. Very surprising, but he is there. Might have just been kind of out of steam after that 3+ hour one pocket final. He did win his first 8-ball match, but I forget who it was that bumped him over to the B side. But Skylar Woodward is playing 8-ball now. Torsten isn't scheduled to play 8-ball till 4 o'clock. So what I talked to Rick and Bonnie about was if Skylar wins his 8-ball match this morning, if we can get him and Torsten to play the 9-ball semi sometime in the middle of the afternoon before Torsten has to play 4 o'clock 8-ball. So I'm going to check with Rick after this match, or after this round, you know, roughly 11:30. And I should be able to give you an update at that time as to how it's going to work out for us. And then whether or not the 9-ball final is tonight or tomorrow is still up in the air. We're hoping to maybe do it tomorrow, where we can give you both an 8-ball and a 9-ball final tomorrow. But that could be an issue too, especially if you've got the same players at the end. So we're still kind of feeling our way through that, but that's the tentative plan right now. That's a really nice break there by Warren. All the balls are open. The only problem is the one. And the 15 down there on the left. And of course, as you can see, the 5-ball just to the right of the triangle only has basically one pocket. However, the only stripe he can shoot is the 12, and I think he may go with the 3-ball here and try to open up the 14-1. He's got to shoot the 12, the 3, or the 4 on the side. And the 3 and the 4 are going to be the balls to open the 1 up. And I think that's where he's going right now. And once again, very, very un-Warren-like. He's missed 2 balls and 2 racks. Each time he was trying to do a little something extra with the cue ball. And occasionally, even the best in the world, when they split their focus like that, sometimes they don't get the result that they wanted. So table is still open for Justin. He can shoot either group. And this being Warren's break, if Justin happens to win this game and goes 3-0 up and breaking, it's going to be awfully difficult for Warren to come back. Not that it can't happen, it's just going to be difficult. Might have to try to just nip the edge of the 2 here and kind of keep it right where it is. 5's the only ball he can shoot, so he's got to shoot it. Not sure if he could draw this into the long rail and back out for the 2. He may have to just try to clip the left side of the 2 ball very gently, or put a big draw stroke on it. Oh, well, that'll work too. I didn't even see that path, and that's very smart by Justin. Shoot the 2 next. Shoot the 4-2. Slide the cue ball down in between, right about where his hand is, a little further, and the 1 will be the key ball before the 8. And that's a really nice pattern he picked here. That looks just about perfect to draw the cue ball back about 2.5 feet. Shoot the 8 in the lower right. Now this is an obvious shot. He did not have to call the 8 there because it was obvious where he was playing it, but most players grew up, you know, with the requirement that the 8 always had to be called, even if it was hanging. So you'll see him do that a lot here. It's just old habits. So the first 3 to Justin, and he has the break in game number 4. Warren with 2 unforced errors. And those are the 2 games that Justin won on Warren's break. This will be Justin's second break. He broke a run the last time he had the break. Justin has 1 shot, and it's the deuce, and he'll need the bridge or he'll need to shoot it left-handed unless he can shoot the 6 in the side. I mean, he could slice the 10, but he doesn't want that. He wants the solids anyway. And once this is out of the way and the 1's out of the way, the 6 is going to go in that pocket or in the, well, maybe it won't go in that pocket, but it will go in the side, so he's going to play the 1 and then the 6 in the side. If he can get straight in on the 7 and stop, he will be able to shoot the 5. And then he'll have 3 pockets on the left side of the table for the 8. So even if he runs into the 2 stripes there near the 5, he should have plenty of pockets for the 8 ball. He may even be able to draw in between the 8 and the 9, missing the solids altogether, and shooting the 8 in the same pocket as the 5. So we'll see which way he decides to play this. at 8 in the upper left corner for a 4-0 lead. Well, the 2 mistakes Warren's made has cost him 2 games. And that's why he's 4-0 down. You just cannot turn the table over and expect to get away with it without something very funny happening or very fortunate. And Warren, as I said, is he's a former 2-time U.S. Bar all-around champion. He's got a couple of 9-ball titles, an 8-ball title. He's truly a great bar box player. But even the best tend to stub their toe every now and then, and I'm sure a lot of Warren's opponents have done that over the years too. Stripe in one corner. You have to have one of each in the corners, please. Thank you. Okay, everything's pretty open here. Every ball has a pocket. Obviously, he has only one solid to shoot, is the 4, but he's going to take the stripes. They're the better group here anyway. The 8 goes in both lower corner pockets. And the only tough ball is a 10. He's probably going to get that out of there right now. Where's the 9 going? Oh boy. That 9 is in the worst place on a pool table that an object ball can find. What I think he's going to have to do is maybe, well, he's going to go ahead and just take his medicine and shoot it up table. I was thinking he might try to get the angle on that 12 to draw into it, keeping the 13 down there for insurance, but as long as this can get by the point, he'll be all right. No, hit the point, but it's still good. It went in the pocket, he played it in, and that's all that has to happen. It doesn't matter how it gets there. And again, the 8 goes in both pockets. So looks like just float about a foot. And Justin's going to come to the table, breaking for the match. Warren's probably just a tad embarrassed that he crapped that ball in, but nevertheless, he'll take it. But Justin won twice on Warren's break. So Warren has to win every game from here, 4 games. He's got to win twice on Justin's break and twice on his own break in order to win the match. And I think that's pretty long odds. Hear nothing yet. Yeah, 12 went inside. 9's going to go. 14's hanging. Give me the stripes. The 2 ball would be the tough ball to take solids, but he's going to start with the 11 in the side. Actually, he might start with the hanger and then use the 11 in the side to come down here for these last 3. This will work too because he's got the 10 ball there as his next. As with all games, you want to minimize the amount of travel your cue ball has. That's why I thought he might get that hanging stripe out of there first and then use the 11. Now he's just got to finesse the white ball here around the 1. And he's done that. And he's a mere 4 balls from winning the match. Just got to take care to get on the 15 the right way. And whether the 15 is next or the key ball, it's going to require a very precise position. Smartly done. Now it's just a stop shot. And he can pick his pocket here, either the left side, or he can come around the 7 and play the 8 in the lower left. Probably the side, I would think. No, he did go that way. That's just as good. And this match is history, folks. Didn't even take a half hour. All right, Justin moves on. Our next scheduled match is just in over a little under an hour, so we'll pull something up out of the archives from yesterday to show you maybe the continuation of what was playing earlier or whatever Tim can pull up. And as soon as I know the next players for the next match, we'll put that up for you too, but it will be 11:30. So thanks for being with us. You're watching the U.S. Bar Table 8-Ball Championships.